Good morning, everybody. We wanted to do this special podcast this morning because I was woken up from a vision that I had last night. And so we were going to talk about it this morning because there's a lot of attachments to this vision that I think are very important to talk about. So just going to say hello to the fam, everybody.
Hey, hello. Go ahead, tell them.
Okay, so I woke up, probably about 2 or 3 o'clock.
That's a big, with 2 and 3. Which was it?
Okay, I remember looking at the clock and it said 5 after 3. So it was 3, but I was stirring around 1. So it was kind of restless sleep. I had a vision of being in this place where the sky was yellow and windy and people were crouching down in bushes and hiding. Now, at first, when I first saw this, I thought I was the outsider looking in. But I was actually looking at what was happening around me through the eyes of this woman who was crouching down in the bushes with her 2 children. Now, both of her children were about, I want to say 7, 8, somewhere in that age.
Again.
I'm sorry,
7
listen.
or 8 or 9, which was it?
Oh, I don't know.
Just a vision, yeah.
Sometimes in visions the faces are not, they're not always clear.
How come you look like PewDiePie when you start channeling kind of thing?
Because I'm remembering it. Will you shut up?
And she closes it. We got to get a video camera here too, because she goes into that stuff, she closes her eyes, right? It looks like PewDiePie, you guys. You ever see any PewDiePie? He's like the most popular guy supposedly from Sweden on YouTube, right? Or I think he's one of the biggest guys on YouTube. But he does mostly games and stuff, but they come after him sometime.
Yeah, well, when I close my eyes, I can re-see that vision clearly because it was, not all the time do I remember everything about it, but this particular one I did. So all I can tell you is that the sky was a yellowy color, and there was a lot of wind, and this woman was crouching down in the bushes, and people were running everywhere trying to hide. I didn't see how many people were around. I could just see every now and then I could see somebody running, but my family, through the eyes of this woman, were already in these bushes crouched down. And I saw people kind of running down into gorges, and that was the last you saw of them. Then I saw, when I turned around, there was a noise, a rumbling coming from somewhere back behind us. And we were all crouched down with our head towards the ground. And then she looks up and I see through her eyes I don't know if it was a spaceship or it was some kind of technology that was flying through the sky. It was rather large. I can even describe it from looking up from underneath it. I can tell you the design of it. And I believe they were harvesters. They were actually harvesting human beings. And this woman, I now realize, was hiding so that they wouldn't find her. Does this sound like something that would be correct, family?
Well, we wanted to mention the things that are coming from the Far East, which if you go further enough around the world, it becomes the West, right? In this case, the Western winds that, the winds that carry across all the way to the Caribbean, to the United States, and all the way around the world almost, is the yellow Sahara dust that has been reaching out in tendrils, gymorphous tendrils that are waving through the world's aeration and circulation around the planet. Well, can you think of a better place to put harvesters, especially because there are a multitudinous amount of ships that are out there that are now closer to the planet than ever because they want to see everything that's going on, and a lot of them have been promised there'd be some harvesting action here. You see, you got to kind of think of this as like a carnival in a way. These beings come down here not just because they want to harvest human beings. Oh, no. There's a whole game going on. You say, and they're part of this game, and they know it. And you see, for some of them, they're going to win greater prizes than they ever imagined. Large swaths of humanity are going to become theirs, while others will be there to pick up a few stragglers here and there. Oh, even 1 or 2 human beings have tremendous value in the universe. Your bodies, your energy you generate, you are a plethora of things that aliens need. You literally are a walking, talking, breathing, pharmaceutical, wonderful, DNA-clad, unbelievably valuable human being that is encasing a living soul that they can draw energy from.
Yes.
You are more than a battery, like Morpheus pointed out to Neo when he says, we're turning you into this. Oh no, that's just one of the aspects that you serve. Your energy, when you move around in your cities and the places that you live, that energy actually generates additional energy that can be used that the aliens like and want. That's why most of your houses are shaped square. Were you aware that the shapes of houses being mostly square actually takes away from the ability for you to work within concentric circles, and that your dwelling should be circles? They should be completely circular, because this resonates and allows you to resonate the correct energy so that you will not grow sick, so that you will not be ill. So yes, part of what they do to you is to constantly plague your society with colds and flus and viruses. Are you ready for this? You're not going to like hearing this. Many of you probably won't believe it, but it's the truth. Every single cold, flu, virus that you've ever had has been a created virus given to you by these wonderful overlords of ours, because they want to see to what degree of suffering is most profitable for them, and what type of energy certain number of people have to be resonating to meet their energy demands. Think of that. You are, all of you, playing this great game where they say, okay, this month we need so many people to be sick. This month we need so many people to die so we can, restore new fresh souls and bring new, human beings in that we can corrupt. It's a machine that they feed. They have these spreadsheets, the way stock market people study the stock markets based on human suffering. Let's see, we need this amount of human suffering on this part of the planet and this amount of human suffering on that part of the planet. Okay, but we got to let them also feel happy every once in a while for little things. Okay, we'll give them Saturday and Sunday off on the weekend so that they can recoup, because you see, they're very smart. They don't want to kill you fast. They want to kill you slow so they can milk every little thing out of you. So they want you to live and have somewhat of a good life. That way, of course, you see, you recuperate from each of these terrible things you got to go through. And they harvest the energy all along.
We've been saying that they've been experimenting these viruses, like, the Spanish flu that came out. They've been experimenting with all of these since the mid-1800s that we know of in medicine. Yes, at least in this time frame. And I've spoken about this before. Mary Shelley was getting visions of this kind of horrific experimentation going on, and that's why she wrote the book Frankenstein, because she didn't know how else to explain it, and she was encouraged to write a book about the vision she was having. And a lot of people don't know that, but the spirit who helped her write this book actually is one of the members, I believe, one of the beings that now lives around near us. So they don't give these things randomly to people unless they know in some way or the other they can tell others what's going on. That's why I'm telling you about this vision. It did look like some kind of Sahara dust. The sky was yellowy colored, and it was windy. There were scrub bushes all around. There was even a part near a marsh, I believe, because I remember people falling into mud. So there was like a marshy area. So there wasn't a lot of covering for people to kind of hide. That's why when you found a bush, you know, there were people getting down on their hands and knees and crouching down in there to be hidden from whatever this machine that was going overhead. And I'm telling you, it was not anything I'd ever seen before. You know what it looked like? You know those big harvesting machines they use out in the fields that have like those big chops on the front of them and they have like a cab in the back? It had a long tubular thing that came down from it and it moved across and there was like cylinders on top of it, like a wheat silo. Yeah. So these were harvesters.
Yeah, and that was like in the actual sense that, and we know that they harvest different types of things, and they don't always harvest people, but when they do harvest people, they do it in different ways. Some people get the light turns on, and then they feel themselves being pulled towards this light, and the next thing you know, you're either, you know, you wake up again back in your bed, and who knows what they've done to you, experimentation, but there's also, you know, direct harvesting where they have actual machines that come and suck people up, especially during times of extreme storms. We know that typhoons, that hurricanes, a lot of people disappear during these times. And we know that all weather is essentially made by these great machines that interact with an artificial intelligence that determines random probabilities for rain, thunder, but of course they can change that at any time. They create this wonderful program that runs all the weather of the world, and it pretty much runs like clockwork. But the thing is, you see, there are different times when the weather becomes severe weather. And in every instance where there has been severe weather, there have been invisible machinery that is now becoming visible because of the melding of the dimensions. We can see what's going on with that. But now we have Victoria who actually has direct visions. And I mean, literally some post-apocalyptic thing where people are running for their lives, basically like War of the Worlds.
Yes.
I mean, you get that feeling. And then you've got these machines that erupt from the ground, right? They come from the ground.
And we've been told that that's going to happen.
Yes, this kind of stuff has been planned, and that there are harvesting machines that come up approximately, and this is just for the underworld that we've heard, is that about every 5,000 years they arise as well and come out and harvest tens of thousands of humans. In this case, it could be millions or even billions of humans, and then they'll take that their lion's share of humanity and use us for the commerce that we've become, and they can trade with other beings for us. Okay, yeah, I got a lot of 100 over here. It's the same thing as like farmers going to buy, you know, livestock.
And I can tell you from what I could see in this vision through this woman's eyes, at first she was standing up and she didn't know where she was or what was going on. And then she got pulled down to the ground, probably by her husband. And that's when I started seeing them crouching. She was looking at something was going on and people were running for their lives. So they knew, the people running, what was going on. And they were running away from whatever was around. And then this harvester or this alien craft flies over. And I have to tell you, from looking from her eyes, it was pretty frightening because these were vessels that we've never seen before, and they were looking for humans that they could spot and pick up and gather. So I didn't realize what was going on at first, and I told Mike about it this morning. But then as I sit and reflect on the vision, I now know what it was. It sometimes takes me a few hours to put all the pieces together.
Yeah, process it.
Yeah, it makes sense because we know that the Sahara dust is really bad right now, and it's going around the world
People
as a blanket.
Allergy attacks.
Yeah.
Having all kinds of health issues. And, you know, it's been questioned before, does that Sahara dust, what is it? What else is in it? What else does it contain? Well, a small mothership could easily fit in any of these dust clouds. Some of them are hundreds of miles long, hundreds of miles wide, and they are permeating the world. We're seeing on the different types of weather channels, especially those that are not mainstream, that are reporting this, that a lot of the mainstream doesn't talk very often about this because there's a lot of things that can hide in the dust. The dust is very effective.
Well, Umbra says they were going to start swarming. Remember?
Yes, yes. And you know what? I mean, we give you this information so that, maybe this is a really good week to stay inside, until some of this stuff. I mean, obviously you got to get out and do things, but I'm saying maybe you need to think about, remaining indoors for a while. We've got the fall coming up. We don't know how bad the dust and how long it's going to be for.
I don't know. I can't tell you if this hasn't already happened or if it's going to happen soon, because I get snapshots just like other people do, and I don't always know the reasoning behind some of the things I see, but this one was very clear, and it woke me up, and I can remember everything about it, not because I had the dream, but because I was looking through somebody else's eyes at the time. I was able to see it all clearly.
You might want to take some time and stay out of the dust. Not just because of the mixations that take place, the things that are in the dust. Many experiments are conducted this way. Let's see if we can hit most of North America. Let's see how they react to some new special additives in the dust. The nanotechnology you've all been warned about in very small amounts. Do you understand what they can do? All of you already are infected with nanotechnology. You just don't know it. Oh, hell, all they have to do when they get their 5G going is flip a switch and command all of the nanotechnology to return. What do you think's going to happen to humanity when that day comes? When all of you have been eating all that GMO that contains little traces of these things, and then the world's most powerful magnet turns on, and they pull all these little particles out of you, you're going to have some real bad days, some people. You're going to be shredded a little bit at a time. You'll go to the doctor and they're like, why do you have all these boreholes in you? What's going on with you? Why are you bleeding from all over? Oh, what they've got planned for all of you. It restores my faith in my brothers, because we are not going to stick around for this. My name is Tayzel. I'm one of those that you would like to refer to as a reptile.
Oh.
Now, understand, not everything that we do is to devour you, but rather to strengthen you, make you better, make you more robust, maybe a little easier to control. That's what we like. At least you get to get born again and again, right? So in a sense, it is an eternal life. If you like this planet, you can come back. Well, you're gonna come back, aren't you? I know Aridiel's trying really hard to tell you how to avoid all this.
They don't want to
Why don't you just say, fuck it, it's too confusing, man. I'm just gonna play my part. Just don't listen to them. Listen to me.
Yeah.
We need more good folk like you to play the game. Come on. If you play it right, you do pretty well in this world. You can accumulate great wealth and power. You can be almost like a god anyhow.
So, Tayso, which side are you on? 'Cause you're not a golden reptilian.
What difference does it make?
Well,
Because
I see
in the
that
end,
side.
they're just going to wipe most of them anyhow.
Well, not the ones that are coming down and coming up.
Oh, I wouldn't be too concerned about that. What little help this planet will get won't really do much. After all, the Creator is going to keep his nose out of most of it. He's just here to watch.
Oh,
He wants to see what's going to happen. He's nosy.
How's those eggs working out for you?
Yeah, look.
Uh-huh.
I'm here to tell them what you asked.
Well, yes, but let's talk about what happened to your eggs. You can't get in that vault, can you?
I don't care about that.
Uh-huh. Yes, and one of your friends sent us a message the other day. What did we get called? Vault leeches?
Yeah, vault leeches. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, I know. Who was it? Some person, they get a bogus account and start mailing it. We get that stuff a lot here. Yeah. I laugh at it. You're not even strong enough to just stand on your own email list and say what you gotta say. You gotta go get another secret mailing list so we can't understand, right? Oh, yeah, you can have dozens of those email things you can make.
Yeah, I know, but it was a message. I'm not stupid. I know what's going on.
Yeah, you know what vault leech is. Well, hey, listen, if you leave the door open, sometimes you get visitors, yeah. That's why we still believe in locks, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I wish you all the very best. And for those of you that lived through all of this, well, maybe you'll begin to listen a little more to people like Victoria. She's right on the mark, And so's that other group of them there, your idiot friends there.
My idiot friends?
You could just shove it.
Yeah, tell them, Vlad.
Well, I'm not trying to be too insulting. I'm just telling you what's going on.
We know what's going on. We've been watching what you've been up to. So which is the next island you're hitting? Let's see. You got the Bahamas.
Oh, you like
Bermuda,
that, how we do that, huh?
Now I see San Juan's up for grabs again. So.
Oh, yeah. You never know where we'll show up again.
Yeah.
But don't worry. There's much more fun stuff coming.
Oh, I see.
Hey, keep an eye on your government here. America is gonna start falling apart pretty soon because they're all crazy over here. You like how we've driven most of them mad, so they just.
It's very amusing.
Isn't it great? Well, when all this is done, there's going to be one super party here. It's going to be the Trump dynasty is coming. Let me tell you. Oh, it's going to be a great. That Noah Hyde law is coming too. That's going to be great.
I've been trying to warn them about that. If they want to know what's going to happen, just watch V for Vendetta, because people, that's what's coming. Okay? Is he gone now? Is Tayzel gone?
Yeah, every time he comes, I get itchy and my eyes water.
Well, he's not a very nice being. Oh, he's a reptilian.
He usually grumbles. I guess this time he wanted to talk. So, and it's just like I'm sitting here rubbing my eyes trying to get the burning sensation out of it. Because every time he comes, he tries to, attach a tendril to me.
He can't.
No, he can't, because
He can't.
And we can't discuss why he can't, but...
Right.
Whew.
Yeah.
And then
He's just one of them.
Run, and I've got to blow my nose. I mean, it's like partially you experience one of the things that he's already involved in, and...
Oh, yeah, they're already involved in this. And they have control of the divine weather crystal. So they're pushing all this weather. When he was talking about the particles, the nanoparticles inside your body, this is why you need to start taking care of your body and detox. This is very crucial, what we're telling you. I mean, you can pay attention or not. It's up to you.
Yeah, Victoria's right. And I want to mention again about iodine. It's got to be a really pure form of iodine, the purest you can find. That stuff that they do, the deep earth crystals extract, if you can get hold of that, man, that's some of the best stuff. And that allows you to naturally detoxify. Because they have other stuff you can take, but it can be really rough on your insides. Whereas iodine is a slow, gradual binding of all the negative carcinogens in your body, and it just sucks it right out of your body. It'll also help you lose weight, too, if you're trying to lose weight. Because there's something in iodine that forces the body to begin to slender down. So we're ready for another bottle. I will put on the cutting room floor, too, if I can find some of the better brands, of what you might want to look for. Now, you may want to find a comparable brand if you're in another country, based on the active ingredients. But some kind of iodine is absolutely critical. Iodine and vitamin C are basically, if you don't get either of those two, you can miss out a lot of other minerals and things like that. But if you're not getting iodine and if you're not getting vitamin C, you'll eventually grow ill and you'll die. So it's that important to have every day, and it will strengthen your body. So was there anything else,
No,
my dear?
I think that's it. I'm going to put that one out together.
Okay, well then what we'll do is we'll just say thank you, everybody, and don't forget to visit whentheancientspeak.com. Remember that we accept donations, even a small amount, $5, $10, $25 a month makes a big deal. And of course, to join the cutting room floor, where you get all kinds of goodies and specials. We're constantly putting up new things for you. We've added new sections. We've even looked over some information from some other gurus that we think could help you. There are some people that are very much into the numerology, or they want to know, the Mayan codes. They want to know, the numerical communications that they might be receiving from the angelic realm. And because Victoria and I are not experts in all of these areas, we know quite a bit, but we actually went out and looked around to see what other products, services, things that could also be of benefit, because, you should learn from a respective expert in each area. So where Victoria and I, our strengths are, maybe other people aren't, so we're going to make recommendations of places you can go and check out this information if you want. Now, granted, there are a lot of people out there, and when they teach their expertise, they may actually charge a fair amount of money for some of these things. So be advised that there may be a price tag attached to some of these teachings. But if you don't mind spending, $50, $100, a couple $100 to get that level of expertise, if you think about it as kind of like, this is an investment in myself. This is an investment in my knowledge. And this is sort of like paying tuition to go to college, right? So if you think of it that way, there are some good deals. And also, Victoria and I will continue to put up additional information. I know Stephen is really big on, pushing, going out and really seeing what you can find that can strengthen you as far as a person. So we want to include those kind of things, too, on the cutting room floor. So from When the Ancients Speak, this is Mike, Victoria, and the family, and blessings, love, and light.